Recording in progress.
Well, very good morning, guys. Okay, fine. So last day we just been stopped up with sealed classes and sealed methods, right? So we learned about what is a sealed class and we learned about what is a sealed method. So that's where we stopped up in the previous session. What next? Today we are going to learn about a new concept here, uh, like abstract classes and abstract methods. We'll learn about a new concept, that is abstract classes and abstract methods. So what are these abstract classes and what are these abstract methods? Okay. So what are we going to learn is first about abstract method. This is a method without any body. That is, it contains only declaration without any implementation. So understand, guys, it contains only declaration without any implementation. So what is an abstract method? It is a method without any body. That is, it contains only declaration without implementation. What is that? Suppose public void add into a console dot write line x plus y. It's a normal method. You know that. I don't require to tell you anything about the method. So what is this? This is a non-abstract method. So these are the methods what we are implementing every day, non-abstract methods. These are the methods what we are implementing every day, nothing but non-abstract methods. Then what is an abstract method? Look, I'm writing a method public void sub int x comma int y and ending it here, ending the declaration there simply. Is I'm not writing any body. These are what we call as abstract method. That is an abstract method. No body. What it contains is only declaration without any implementation. And remember one thing, guys, if at all you wanted to declare a method as abstract, if at all you wanted to declare a method as abstract, you must use the word, the keyword abstract here. If you want to declare any method as abstract, you must use the word called abstract here. So did you understand what is an abstract method? A method without a body. What it contains? Only declaration without implementation. I repeat, what it contains is only declaration without implementation. The next thing is abstract class. Okay. The class under which we declare abstract members or abstract members is an abstract class. That is, if any class contains any abstract members in it, then that class is also abstract. That class is also abstract. How do you declare it? Watch. Class math. Guys, look, this is a class math. Okay, so now you declared this inside a class now. Now this class is abstract and you're required to declare this also by using abstract keyword. So this is a, then what is non-abstract class? Non-abstract class means the classes whatever we are writing till yesterday and the methods whatever we are defining till yesterday, all are non-abstract classes and non-abstract methods. Did you understand my point or not? All the classes we defined till yesterday and all the methods we defined till yesterday, all are non-abstract classes and non-abstract methods. Okay, now. Okay, so what did we learn today is about abstract classes and abstract methods. Now you'll be having a doubt here. What is the doubt? Sir, this method is an abstract method. Fine. So this method is an abstract method, a method without a body. But what is the use of it? No body, I can't use it now. Yes or not? All of you, concentrate here. Don't look into your notes. Concentrate here. So the big doubt will be, like, there is a method without a body. What is the use of it? Yes or not? Okay? Say. All the abstract methods that are defined in an abstract class should be implemented by the child class of the abstract class without fail. Understand, all the abstract methods that are defined in an abstract class. Where are we defining them? In an abstract class. So should be implemented by the child class of the abstract class without fail. See here, listen, the concept is something like overriding here. The concept is something like overriding. Parent class contains a method declared virtual. Listen, parent class contains a method declared virtual. That method can be re-implemented by the child class using override keyword. We learned it already. Old story that is. Yes or not? Parent class contains a method declared as virtual. Child class can re-implement that method by using the keyword override. Mandatory or optional? Mandatory or optional? Brainless fellows. Optional, yeah. Overriding is not mandatory. How many times I should tell you? When you're talking about something, you'll be here and you'll forget the old one. This is abstract. This is not virtual. What I'm talking is method overriding. I said to you, this is abstract method, not overriding. Understood? Huh? I'm telling you, this concept is somewhat similar to method overriding. Listen, abstract methods is somewhat similar to method overriding. What did you learn in overriding? In overriding, parent class contains a method declared virtual and that method can be re-implemented by the child class using override keyword. But that is not mandatory. That is only optional. Now when you come to abstract methods, listen, parent class contains a method in it declared as parent class contains a method declared in it as abstract. A parent class contains a method declared as abstract. And this method must be implemented by the child class. Understand English correctly. What did I say earlier? Virtual methods can be re-implemented by the child class. But what I'm telling you, abstract methods must be implemented by the child class using the same override keyword, but this is mandatory. Are you clear? See, abstract methods of a parent class can be re-implemented by the child class. Can be re-implemented by the child class using what? override keyword. What are you doing? And can be re-implemented. Can be re-implemented means mandatory or optional? Mandatory or optional? It is optional. Okay, this is not mandatory. What is this? Optional. Now, look. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Virtual methods. I'm wrong. Virtual methods of a parent class can be re-implemented by the child class by using override keyword. Okay. Now the new thing is abstract methods. Are you clear? Understand grammar correctly. What is it telling you? You can re-implement. May not mandatory because already implemented there. Can be. But here what is it telling you? Must be re-implement. Implement. Why? They are not implemented the parent. Who should implement? Child should implement now. Mandatory or optional? This is mandatory. I hope you guys are clear. I'm talking with you only. Understood the difference? So this is somewhat similar to overriding. But in overriding, virtual methods of the parent class are re-implemented by child. But in abstract methods of the parent class are implemented by the child. Okay? And there it is re-implementation. Means already in the parent, again you are implementing. But here they are not implemented the parent. We are directly doing in the child only. So this is called as implement. And this is not optional, guys. This is mandatory. Watch this picture, all of you. Virtual override. Abstract override only. But the first one is method overriding. Second one is abstract methods. And the optional, mandatory. Simply our first one method overriding means virtual methods. Second one is abstract methods. The first one is virtual methods. Second one is abstract methods. Okay. Are you guys clearer? Who should implement the methods? Child classes must implement it. Is it mandatory or optional? Mandatory. Simply, I'll tell you in simple words. Till now, what did you learn? Parent class is providing some members to the children to consume. Till now, what did you learn? Parent class providing some members to the children to consume. Correct? Tell me confidently. Now, what are you learning? Parents imposing some restrictions on the children. Parents imposing some restrictions on the children. See, take your parents as an example. Your parents gives you all the money, whatever you want. They give you everything to you. You ask for a mobile phone, they give you. You ask for a new dress, they give you. You ask for a money, they give you. Everything what you ask, they give you. Correct? And don't forget, at the same time, they also put some conditions on you. Don't do that or don't do this. They don't only give their property to you. They give some conditions also on you. They put some conditions also on you. Are you clear? Abstract methods are the other side of the coin. What is it? Till now we looked at one side of the coin. What is it? Parent properties can be enjoyed by the children. Now what are we looking, the other side of the coin. What is it? Parent is having some restrictions and the restrictions should be fulfilled by the children. Okay, na? Yes or not? So parents' properties can be consumed by the children and at the same time parents' restrictions must be fulfilled by the children. So conditions and restrictions. In simple words, I'll tell you, assets, liabilities. You know assets and liability? Asset means their property. Liabilities means their debts and loans. You're responsible to clear them now. Can you say in the future, I am not responsible for my father's loans and liabilities? Give me my father's property. No, you cannot. So if at all you want to take the right on the parents' property, you also should take the responsibility of parents' liabilities also. Yes or not? Okay, your father has given some 10 lakhs of money to someone for loan, and at the same time he has taken some 5 or 6 lakhs of loan from other people. Okay, okay, not your father. Okay, just let us take a normal example. Okay, so just a normal example. A person and his father has taken 10 lakh, he has given 10 lakhs of loans to someone, and at the same time he has just taken 5 lakhs loan from someone. 10 lakhs he has given to someone, and 5 lakhs he has taken from someone. Tomorrow that person expired. Now the children, can they go and say, I'm not responsible for my father's loans, but give me my father property? No. If you want to claim your money, whatever money the person has given, the father has given, you also should be responsible for the loans also. Got the point or not? Okay. Otherwise, don't ask anything. If you are asking, you are responsible for both the two things. Yes or not? If you don't ask for the money what is given also, no problem. But if you don't pay, they'll kick you. That's it, huh? See, the father has given some 10 lakhs to someone. You did not ask them. The other person is happy. If you don't ask, the other person is happy. But your father has taken some loan from someone. Tomorrow, if you don't pay, the other person is not happy. He will try to kick you because you're not paying the money. Correct? So that's all. Understand, yaar. These abstract methods are like liabilities, and non-abstract methods are like assets. Assets, liabilities. Assets and liabilities both should be owned by the children. Okay, na? Fine. Next. An abstract class can contain both abstract and non-abstract members in it. Did you understand or not? An abstract class can contain both abstract and non-abstract members in it. Both can be present. Abstract members also can be present. Non-abstract members also can be present. Okay. Watch it. There's an abstract class. What it has? First, it has non-abstract members. What are non-abstract members? It has some. What are these? The liabilities. Okay, an abstract class can contain both abstract and non-abstract members also in it. Both can be present. Okay, now see. If a child class of an abstract class wants to consume of its parent, then it must first implement all the abstract members of its parent. Then only it can consume non-abstract members of parent. Read it, guys, all of you. From here. Is it clear, all of you? Yes or not? Both can be present. What both? Abstract members can be present, non-abstract members can be present. I'll tell you a simple example to understand here. Suppose you're studying in your college. Every day, you're going to the college by a bus. And one day you ask your father, you want a bike. You want a bike or a scooter to go to the college. So from many days you're asking, your father just ignored you. One fine day, he has brought all the money to purchase you a bike or a scooter. One fine day, he has brought all the money to purchase you a bike or a scooter. The money was brought. Clear? He has brought the money. After bringing the money, what your father has said is, after bringing the money was put in the wardrobe, he locked it, put the key in the pocket and said, you, in the coming examination, if you achieve 75% of the marks, the money is yours, you can purchase the bike. In the coming examination, if you attain 75% of the marks, the money is yours, you can purchase the bike. Okay? Now tell me, to get the money, what you require to do? You are required to attain the 75%. Correct or not? Okay? Now you just understand here. What do they say? This is the money. This is the money. And this is the condition what your father has put on you now. Clear? To get the money, what you require to do first? Fulfill the condition. Correct? Watch. This is a child class of abstract class. What it has to do, you know? Implement all the abstract members of parent class first. It has to implement all the abstract members of parent class first. Now only there is a chance to consume non-abstract members of parent. Are you clear? Yes or not? First, what are you required to do? You are required to implement all the abstract members of the parent class. Nothing but you are required to fulfill the condition. What condition? Attain 75% of the marks. Second, you get the right on the money now, you can purchase your bike. That is nothing but consume the non-abstract members of parent. Is it clear, all of you? Okay, na? Okay, so this is basically the concept of abstract methods and abstract classes. Let's see how to define them. Look, guys. I am defining a class here. We'll name the class as ABS parent. ABS parent. So guys, the class name is ABS parent. This class ABS parent, okay, I'm going to declare public void add int x comma x plus y. Simple code. Same way, another method. Subtract, sub. There's nothing new in this code. Non-abstract class, non-abstract methods. Non-abstract class, non-abstract methods. Now what I wanted to do in this class, I wanted to declare some abstract methods now. I wanted to declare some abstract methods. Now come on, let's do public void mul int x comma int y. And if I put a semicolon there, that's going to be an abstract method. Okay? But you get an error, guys. What is the error? Must declare a body because it is not marked. Array, you did not mark it abstract, so you must write the body. No, I don't want to write the body. You don't want to write the body? Then mark it as abstract. Is it clear, all of you? mark it as abstract. You're marking that as abstract now. Okay. So still you're getting an error. If you see still red line, what is the error? It's a non-abstract class. It is a non-abstract class. So what you're required to do? You're required to declare this class also as abstract. Are you clearer now? Now see, there is no error. I can write and one more method. Public abstract void dev. Guys, watch. I have defined a class abstract, and in that class there are two non-abstract members and two abstract members. That's what I just explained you. An abstract class can contain both abstract and non-abstract members in it. Both are present. Abstract members also present. Non-abstract members also present. Both are present for you in this case. Is it clear, all of you? Yes or not? So we have abstract members also present. We have non-abstract members also present inside of it. Both are there. No issues with this. No doubts now? Now, one thing you understand. What you know? An abstract class is never useful to itself. An abstract class is never useful to itself. That is, we cannot create the instance of an abstract class. Did you understand this or not? An abstract class is never useful to itself. That is, we cannot create the instance of an abstract class. The instance of an abstract class cannot be created at all. The instance of a abstract class cannot be created at all. You cannot create the instance of an abstract class. Not possible? No, not possible. I hope you guys are clear or not. Understood, all of you? So what is not possible? Creating the instance of an abstract class is not going to be possible. If you cannot create the instance of an abstract class, can you call the non-abstract members in the class? No. Or if you cannot create the instance, can you call the methods? You can't call now. Without creating instance, how will you call here? Okay. So that's what I'm telling you. An abstract class is never useful to itself. That is, we cannot create the instance of an abstract class. Okay. Abstract classes are always parent classes. Abstract classes are always parent classes. That is, they will be sitting in the top of the hierarchy and providing services to child classes. What I mean, I'll tell you in simple words. Our parents earn the money. Your parents earn the money. But even though your parents earn the money, they will be calculating a lot to spend for their personal expenses. Am I right? Yes or not? You might be having a good smartphone. But does your father have the same smartphone what you have? Is it having the same capability? Your father, your mother, do they have a smartphone like what you have with all the features and everything? No, they don't. They don't. They basically think like, okay, we need a small phone for a talk, just to talk. But we want a smartphone for Instagram, that one, this one, oh, lots of things. And we don't have all those things installed on your parents' phones. Am I right or not? So that's what I'm just trying to tell you. What you know? Basically, abstract classes are like our parents only. They earn, but they don't spend. Who spend? Children. We also say. So it is never useful to itself. It can be useful only for children, only for the children. So now coming back, I cannot create the instance of this class now. So because I cannot create the instance of this class, even though these two methods are non-abstract, I cannot call them now. Even though these two methods are non-abstract, I cannot call them now. I cannot call these two methods now. Not possible. Sir, why, sir? Why not possible? Because they are in an abstract class, and you cannot create the instance of the abstract class. Okay. Now, let me define a child class. Let me define a child class, guys. ABS child. Let me define a child class. ABS child. Okay. Now, after defining the child class ABS child, now this class is going to inherit from which class? ABS parent. This class is going to inherit from ABS parent. Already from last 10 days, we saw inheritance many times. Now see, I'm going to define a main method. After defining the main method, excuse me, concentrate on the class, I said you. Don't look into your mobiles or don't look into your notes. Look here, I'm teaching something. What will be there? Okay, so you just watch it. This is the ABS child inheriting from. Now here, I'm going to create the instance of the child class. ABS child, C is equals to new ABS child. I want to call the method. What is the method? Add method. Add method is non-abstract now. So directly I'm trying to call it. C dot sub. Subtract method is also non-abstract now. So directly I'm trying to call these two methods. But listen, just now I said you, child class can consume the non-abstract members of the parent class only after implementing the abstract members. Yes or not? Is an error. Watch it, all of you. Error. What is the error, sir? You did not implement the inherited member MUL and DIV. Are you clearer or not? You did not implement the inherited member MUL and DIV. These methods are not implemented. Because these methods are not implemented, they cannot be consumed from the child class. Because these methods are not implemented, they cannot be consumed from the child class. Child class cannot consume these particular methods. I hope it is clear for all of you. So what should I do? I should implement the methods. Okay. Now come on. When you type override, you will get the list of virtual methods in the parent class now. When you type override, you get the list of virtual methods in the parent class or not? Not only virtual methods, guys. When you type the keyword override, it will show you the list of virtual as well as abstract methods in the parent. Both will come to you. Okay. Suppose you select a virtual method. ToString is a virtual. Just understand, all of you, carefully. You selected a virtual method. It writes the code. And simply say returns, and it will call base dot. It will call the parent class method. So if it calls like this, what is the meaning? This is a virtual method. But suppose if at all you are just going to override MUL, it won't show base dot. What it will show, throw new not implemented exception. Understand, you are not implemented. Means this is abstract. Do you understand? How do you know what is abstract and what is virtual now? If it calls base dot, then that is virtual. If it shows not implemented, means it's abstract. Is it clear for you? So now write your logic here. What is the logic? Console.writeLine X into Y. Same story, override. x by y. Console.WriteLine x into y, console.WriteLine x by y. Is it clear? The methods are implemented. Once the methods are implemented, the error got vanished here. No error. Okay. So now I'm calling the add and the subtract methods. Call them. It executes. ABS child. Got the result? Yes or not? You just got the result right now. What you're just expecting. You got the results now. We got the results now. Okay. So fine. Now I did not call the methods multiply and divide. Array, calling or not calling is your choice. You want to call them or don't call them is your choice. But implementing is mandatory. Okay now? Now I can call them also. See, C dot multiply 10, 23. C dot divide. I hope you guys are clear. Yes or not? So this is how you define the abstract methods and how do you implement the abstract methods. Clear? Now, I'll have a big question here. What is that? Just a minute. Can I create the instance of an abstract class? Already said you. Can I create the instance of an abstract class? But I can create a reference, guys. I can create a reference. How, sir? How you can create array? We already know, yeah, the parent class reference can be created by using child class instance. Parent class reference can be created by using child class instance. So P is a reference of the parent created by using child instance C. Clearer? Third rule of inheritance. Parent references can be created by using child instances. I hope this is clear to all. Now answer my question. What is the question? With the P, what methods can I call? Can I call the add method? Come on, faster. Can I call the add method? Yes or not? P dot add. Can I call the subtract method? Yes or not? P dot sub. Run and see. Executed. Why no, you're telling? Why no, yaar? The methods are parent methods only now. Why are you telling no? Can I call the multiply method? Can I call the multiply method? Add and subtract are parent methods only. No questions on that. They can be called without any doubt. But can I call the multiply and divide methods? That is the question. Confidently. No? Confident? Wrong. Yes, sir. Brainless fellows. Overridden methods can be called now. That overridden methods only now. Why are you forgetting? They are not pure child class members. They are overridden members. So don't forget, every time I'm reminding you the same thing again and again, you are forgetting. Parent references cannot call pure child class members. Understood? What they can call? What they can call? Overridden members. And don't forget that these two are overridden. You clearly written now, override. You written there or not? Then these methods are pure child methods of overridden members. Overridden members. Tomorrow, I want to write a complete new method here. Tomorrow, I want to completely write a new method here. Public void mod. Public void mod. Int x comma int y. Console.WriteLine. Console dot x mod y. X mod y. And guys, remember this point. What is this? This is a pure child class member and you cannot call it by using pay. Are you clear? Don't forget this again and again and again. What can be called? What can be called? Overridden member. What cannot be called? Pure child members cannot be called. Okay? A parent reference that is created by using child instance. A parent reference that is created by using child instance can always call overridden members of the child class, but cannot call pure child class members. Okay, first, you guys, did you understand how to declare an abstract class, abstract methods, how to implement? Are you clear with all these points, what I explained to you? Yes or not? No doubt in the declaration parts now? Declaration, implementation, are you clearer with this? Now the question is, where do we use them, sir? Where do we use them? I'm giving you this for a task for you. Not a task. Yeah, not a task. I'm giving this particular work to you. One day you watched the video of inheritance. Do you remember? Person, student, staff, teaching staff, non-teaching staff, reusability, to bring reusability into picture, breaking them. Yes or not? This concept is also very similar to that. This concept is also very similar to this. I am giving a video for you. Watch the video. If you have any questions, I will conclude everything for you in the next session. But if you watch the video only, you will get that idea first. Okay? What is that video? Actually, at video number 17, I think. I'll show you. There are two videos on this, guys. 17 and 20. They're wrongly placed there. They're wrongly placed there. 20 is the first video, what I explained to you in the classroom now. 20 is the first video, what I explained in the classroom now. Whatever I explained to you in the classroom, that is present in video number 20. And what I'm asking you to watch is video number 17 now. Working with abstract classes and methods in your applications. So how do we use them in our applications? So what is the video to watch? 17. All of you. Watch it and come to the session tomorrow. Are you clearer or not? Okay, I will. If you have any confusions, let me know. I will give you the clarification. But if you don't watch, I can't help you. Clear? So this will be same like our inheritance only. Same on the inheritance class, what we learned. Same only. Some extra points will be there. Some extra points will be there. Other than that, everything what I explained in inheritance only will be present. Some extra points. What are the extra points only you need to understand? Clearer? Fine. Next. The next topic, what we are going to learn. See, for the video, what you are watching, the notes is present here. For the video, what you are watching, the notes is present here. The notes is given for you. The notes is given. The complete notes, all the things are present here. But only thing is, I'm just promoting you for self-learning. You learn by watching the video. That's what I want you to do. Clear? Next. The next topic in our pipeline is interface. Interface. What is this interface? This is also a type. Is also a type like abstract, first abstract, afterwards non-abstract. Yes. Is also a type like a class. Do you remember? Already explained you. In C language, there are three user-defined types. What are the three? Structures, enums, unions. Structures, enums, unions. These three are user-defined types. And I said you C# has 5 user-defined types. How many? What are the 5? Class. That's only important. Always we are covering classes only. Second one, interface. Third one, structure. Fourth one, enum. Fifth one, delegate. Till now, I focused on classes and that is only important for us. 80% are classes. Okay, remaining 20% what we have? structures, enums, interfaces, and delegates. We'll talk about the remaining types and also what is the use of them now. Okay, now? Can we inherit abstract class to abstract class? You can inherit. What is the point there? You can inherit. But second class also abstract class. There also instance creation is not possible. Again, you're required to define one more class and there only you should implement and call them. That's all. You can inherit, no restriction. This is also user defined type like a class, but can contain only. Are you guys clear? Can contain only louder abstract members in it. Can't it contain non-abstract members? No. Just now what we discussed, like a class can contain non-abstract members. Yes or not? But when you come to interface, what it can contain, you know? Only abstract members. Only abstract members? Yes, only abstract members. What is the use? We'll discuss in the last. What is the use of it? Now, the question arises. Who will implement, sir? Who will implement? In this case also, all the abstract members of the interface should be implemented by same point here. Who should implement? Child class. Who should implement it? Child class should implement. Are you clear? Any doubts? Guys, are you following me? Come on, online students, respond. Are you clear? So in this case also, all the abstract members of the interface should be implemented by the child class of interface only. It should be implemented by the child class of interface only. The child class only should give the implementation. Okay. So now, understand, we have a new point now. What is the new point? Till now, we have classes. We have class as a parent of another class. Am I correct? Yes or not? Till now, we have class as a parent of another class. Okay, but a class can also have an interface as its parent. Did you understand or not? So a class can have class as a parent. A class can have interface as a parent. Okay, both are allowed. Both are going to be allowed. So inheritance is divided into two categories. Inheritance is divided into two categories. What are the two categories? You know, one, implementation inheritance, and two, interface inheritance. If a class has another class as its parent, then we call it as implementation inheritance. And if the class has an interface as its parent, then we call it as read it all of you. Are you clear? Understood all of you? Yes or not? Next. Implementation inheritance provides reusability. That is, child classes can consume the members of. We have reusability na. Child classes can consume the members of parent class now. Okay, next. Interface inheritance doesn't provide any reusability. Interface inheritance doesn't provide any reusability because in this case, child class cannot consume anything from parent, but should implement the members of. Array, what is there to consume? Yeah, there is nothing to consume. What you're required to do is only implement. Interface doesn't contain any non-abstract members now. What it contains? Only abstract. Your father has only liabilities. Are you going to enjoy it? Your father has only liabilities. Are you going to enjoy it, miss? You're nodding the head here. You are enjoying the liabilities. Your father has 10 or 20 lakh loans. Clear them here. You enjoy it. Understand? Yeah. You don't enjoy now. What is that? There's a restriction for me now. But your father has a property of 50, 60 lakhs. Are you going to enjoy it? Understand? Am I clear what I said here? Yes or not? There's nothing to consume. So no reusability here. What is that? We need to implement them now. Interface inheritance, it doesn't provide any reusability because in this case, child class cannot consume anything from parent, but should implement the members of parent. What members? Abstract members of parent. Is it clear, all of you? No confusions now? Okay now? Next. Implementation inheritance is single. That is, a class can have one and only one class as its immediate parent. Carefully listen. Implementation inheritance is single. That is, a class can have one and only one class as its. You already know na. We already know that one class only can be parent. More than one class cannot be parent. Okay. Interface inheritance is multiple. That is, a class can have more than one interface as its parent, as its immediate parent. So this supports multiple entities. But sir, earlier you said the multiple entities is not supported. You go and verify your notes. What did I say? In Java and .NET languages, multiple inheritance is not supported through classes. This is what I said here. You can refer to the notes. You can verify. Rule number 5. What did I say? In Java and .NET languages, multiple inheritance is not supported through classes. But now I'm telling you, yes, multiple inheritance is not supported through classes, but supported through interfaces. Multiple inheritance is supported through, louder, interfaces, not supported through classes. I hope you guys are clear. Yes or not? So both in Java and the .NET languages, we don't have a support for multiple inheritance through the classes. And what we have is only support of interface inheritance through, support, we have multiple inheritance support only through interfaces, not through classes. Watch this picture, all of you. Child class. How many parent classes I have? One only. One only. But how many parent interfaces do I have? Set of multiple. How many I did not tell there? Set of interfaces. How many can be there? Any number. But how many parent classes it can have? One only. But how many interfaces it can have? N number of interfaces it can have. I hope you guys are clear. Okay now? Now let us just try to understand how to define a interface. How to define a interface. Same like class only here. Modifiers. For a class, we use a keyword called class here. For interface, we use a keyword called interface here. Interface, name of the interface. And for a class, what I said, member declaration. But what I'm saying here, is it clear? What it can contain? Only abstract member. So what do you write here? Abstract member declaration. Modifiers, interface, name of the interface, abstract member declarations are what you're going to define inside of it. Okay, now? Okay, listen. An interface, some important rules remember. An interface cannot contain any fields are not allowed. Fields are not allowed. Cannot contain any fields in it. 2. The default scope for the members of an interface is public, whereas it is private in case of a. Are you getting me or not? What is that? The default scope for the members of an interface is public, whereas it is private in case of a. For class it is private here. For class it is private. For interface it is public. Clear? Every member of an interface is by default abstract. So we don't require to again use abstract keyword on them. Abstract keyword on them. But just remember, half an hour back we learned, if you want to declare an abstract method in a class, you must use abstract keyword, because there we have non-abstract and abstract. To differentiate, we use abstract. But here what we have is only abstract. Again, I don't require to say this abstract now. Every member of an interface is by default abstract. So we don't require to again use abstract keyword on them. Okay, last point. An interface can inherit from another interface, but not from a class. See, listen all the scenarios. A class on a parent class and a child class. We already know this. Parent class, child class. We already know this. Now today newly what I said, parent is interface, child is a class. Parent is a, child is a class. But this is not possible. What is not possible? Parent is a class, child is an interface is not possible. Parent is a class, child is an interface is a not possible. Parent is interface, child is also interface possible. Got it? Parent is interface, child is also interface possible. Okay. Okay. So are you guys clearer what I said? An interface can inherit from where? Another interface, but not from class. Why, sir? Why it cannot inherit from a class? Array, class will contain fields. When you inherit, parent members will become child members. Interface cannot contain fields. Class can contain non-abstract members. When you inherit child also, interface also will contain non-abstract members, which is not allowed. That is why interface cannot inherit from class. Interface can inherit from interface only. Are you clear with the 4 points? All of you concentrate. Are you clear with the 4 points I said? Shall I define an interface now? Okay, na? I'll define an interface now. Watch. To define a class, if you want to define a class, what you're doing, you're opening the add new item window. And the add new item window till now, you used the 2 templates. What 2 templates? Class template, code file template. Now we have the 3rd template, see? What is that? You take this template interface. Now come here and specify the name. I want to write the name as math.cs. My interface name is math.cs. But one thing I want to tell you, what you know? Generally, it's a naming convention we follow in the industry. When you want to define an interface, always make a habit of prefixing it with the character I. All interfaces will prefix the character I. The I is an indication to tell this is a interface. Okay. Just I'm calling it as imath1.cs. imath1.cs. Now watch it here, just like class. Now you got interface. That's all. Nothing there here. Just like every day we get a class. Today what we got? Interface. So I wanted to declare add and subtract method here. How did you declare an abstract method in the previous example? Public abstract void add intex comma into I. Correct? But here guys, very simple. Void add. Void sub. No need to write public. Why? Already said you. Default scope is public. No need to say abstract. Already said you. Default is abstract. So there you said public abstract void add, but here it is very simple. Void add, void sub. Finish. Okay, na? Understood my point, all of you? Void add and void sub. That's it. Okay, next. Actually, I wanted to show you multiple inheritance with interfaces, because just now I said, multiple inheritance is possible. So with interface, I want to show you. So for that reason, actually I want to write 2 more methods, multiply and divide. But without writing here, let me add another interface. Let's name it as imath2, imath2, and the other 2 methods, let me declare it here. What's it? Void Is it clear, all of you? 2 I declared in the parent and 2 declared in the child. Total 4. Now I'm going to implement them in a class. How? Add a class. Any name, but I'm naming this class as, to understand the interface and the class are related with each other, class name will always be interface name only. Class name will always be interface name only. For better understanding, we give names like this. clsmath.cs. Sorry guys, not CLAS. CLS math. The I indicates it's an interface now. I indicates it's an interface. Now CLS indicates it is a class. clsmath.cs. All of you guys watch. Sorry. Understood or not? Now this interface I am going to inherit from I'm going to inherit from program class. Yeah, you can inherit. Program is the first class in the project here, which contains 4 methods. Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. Remember? Understand English carefully. All of you concentrate. Understand what I'm doing? I'm inheriting from the program class. Okay, now? And the second thing what I'm doing, I am implementing the interface iMath 1 and iMath 2. Did you understand me? I repeat again. What am I doing? I am inheriting from, louder, program class and implementing iMath 1 and iMath 2 interfaces. Did you understand the terminology? Inheriting from class, implementing the interface. Interfaces are not inherited here. Interfaces are implemented. Can you do both at a time? Yes, you can do both at a time. But first what should come? Class name. Afterwards, interface name. How many class names can I use here? One and only one. Because one class only can be a parent. How many interfaces can I have? N number. Arey, that only na. I shown you the picture to you. So this is CLS math. Understand? This is CLS math. What is this? Program. And what is this? And iMath 1, iMath 2. I hope this clarifies your doubts. Yes or not? Okay. Now we'll have a doubt here. What is the doubt? Sir, are you going to call the methods of program class? No, I'm not calling. I'm not going to call it anywhere. Array, I was only showing you your option is there. If you want to call them. But there is an option for you to inherit from a class and implement a set of interfaces at a time. Don't think like either or. Only inheriting or only implementing. Inheriting also can be done. Implementing also can be done. I'm inheriting the class and implementing the interface. So now tell me, there are 4 methods in the 2 interfaces. Is it mandatory to implement all the 4 methods or can I implement whatever I require? Louder. Mandatory to implement all the 4 methods is the first option. Second option is implement whatever you require. Mandatory. Abstract means mandatory. But the abstract, that is mandatory. So all the 4 methods should be implemented? Yes. Watch it. iMath 1 and iMath 2 are showing red lines. What is the red line of iMath 1? See? Add and sub are not implemented. What is the error of iMath 2? See? So is it clear, all of you? It's mandatory to implement all the 4 methods. You don't have any choice. Okay? But tomorrow, sir, if tomorrow there are 10 methods, 10 methods should be implemented. 20 methods, 20 should be implemented. But problem is, this interface is defined by someone with the 10 methods in it. This interface is defined by someone with the 10 methods in it. Today I'm implementing it now. So how do I know the signature of all the 10 methods? When I implement, I should implement with same signature only, na? How do I know? But overriding, if I type override, the method will come there. If I select, that will write the signature, you write the body. Again, you put blank spaces. In case of abstract, you type override and select the method. That is writing the signature for you. But here, how do I know signature? Here, how do I know the signature of all the methods? Are you getting me? Watch it, guys. A beautiful option. Right click on the interface. Right click on the interface. You'll find an option called quick actions and refactorings. What is it? Quick actions and refactorings. When you click on this, it will show you suggestions on the left hand side. It will show you a bulb symbol will come there, suggestions. And here it's showing you, see, implement, louder. And if you select this option, it is going to generate the methods to you like this. It is going to generate the methods to you like this. There is one more option called as implement all members explicitly. Implement all members explicitly. Nothing here, same only. But now it will prefix the interface name before the method name. That's it. You can use any of the things. In what scenario we use this explicit implementation, I'll tell you. In what scenarios we use explicit implementation, I'll tell you. So first go for The first option. What is that? Implement. Double click here. It will generate the methods to you. This is much simple than typing override and selecting now. Same way, right click on iMath 2. Quick actions and refactorings. Implement. See guys, all the 4 methods are generated. All the 4 methods are generated. What next, sir? What next here? Go and write the body. Finish. If you go and write the body, everything is set ready. Console dot right line x plus y. X minus y. X into y. Is it clear, all of you? Yes or not? All the methods are implemented by the child class or not? Yes, everything is implemented. Everything is implemented. All the methods are implemented. No doubts now? Yes or not? Now listen. Carefully listen to this. While declaring the method, did we use public on the method? While declaring the method, did we use public on the method? While declaring the method in the interface, did we use public on the method? No, yeah, that's why I'm saying body present and mind absent. Clearly said, default is public, default is abstract, no need. Yes or not? What do you write? Void add. This is nothing but public void add. This is nothing but. While implementing the method, don't forget to use public. Why? The default scope for the members of a class is private. The method declaration is public void add. The method implementation is private void add. These two will not match and will throw you an error telling you the add method is not implemented. Are you clearer or not? See now, do you have any error under iMath 1? No. Remove public here. Error. What is the error? You did not implement the add method, it is telling you. I implemented now. See, it is not public. That is also telling you the implemented method is not public. The method signature is public. The method implementation is private now. Default scope of the members of a class is private. So this is not going to be taken as an implementation. So compulsory we should use public. Is it clear, all of you? Understood or not? Next point. Next point. Did you use abstract while declaring the method? Did you use abstract while declaring the method? While declaring the method, did you use abstract? No. We did not use public also. We did not use abstract also. And while implementing, no need to use override also. Watch. While implementing, no need to use. Oh, we did not use. No need. You don't require to. Okay, done. Now can I call them? Yeah. Static void main. Create the instance of the class CLS math. C is equals to new CLS math. C dot add. C dot sub. C dot multiply. And C dot div. Console dot read line. What is the class? CLS math. Run. Watch the output. Somewhere semicolon is missing. Oh, here. I hope it's clear. Yes or not? I will explain you in detail when we use it. Don't bother about that. Only focus on declarations and implementations. That's all. Where to use is my job to teach you. Okay, now see, can I create an instance of an abstract class? Half an hour back I said you, no. So can I create the instance of an interface? If you cannot create for abstract class, you can create for interface also. Why? At least abstract class contains non-abstract method. Interface doesn't contain any non-abstract members also. So creating is possible or not possible? Okay. Can I create a reference? Can I create a reference, all of you? imath1. I1 is equals to C. imath2. I2 is equals to C. Point clear? Reference creation is possible. Using I1, what methods can I call? Using I1, what methods can I call? Pretty clear, add and sub. Why? Those two methods only declared in I1 and implemented by the class now. I can call add method. I can call subtract method. And here I can call multiply and divide. I hope this is clear for all. Yes or not? Understood everyone? So this is how you go for implementing the methods under the child class. This is how you go for implementing. So declaration and the implementation part. Clearer? So practice all these things carefully. Tomorrow I will teach you where interfaces are used in the application development. Okay, where do we use them in the application development? I'll practically tell you in the tomorrow session. Let me stop here. We'll meet tomorrow. Can interface contain constructor? What interface contains abstract members and no fields? Then what is the use of constructor here? Constructor means, are you writing abstract? Are you going to write the constructor abstract or with body? Non-abstract? Come on, answer my question. You cannot have non-abstract members now. You cannot have non-abstract members now. Then how can you write a constructor?